thoughts or whatever when you're thinking the most, but mine are usually in the shower. So I just wanted to make sure I got these points down real quick before they get out of my brain. So one thing I want to ask you is, who loves you? Who loves you? Who actually expresses love to you by spending time with you and asking about your day, or hugging you, or making plans with you, those kinds of things? Who loves you? I'm going to say, I love you, towel or not. I love you, and I want to say that our group loves you, and I also want to say that God loves you as well. But think about who else loves you in your life, and can you write them down in a list? Can you actively think about who loves you today? Write it on a list. Put it on a sticky note or a notepad. Get a dry erase marker. Put it on your mirror if you want to. But think about who loves you today. Write it down, because they say that you remember things better when you write it down. And then put it in a prominent place that you're going to see it every day. And you can remind yourself of who actually does love you in their deeds, in their actions, in their phone calls, in their texts, in their emails, whatever it might be. Who actually loves you? Write it down, and then you remember it every single day when you're starting to feel down. You look at your list and you say, you know what? I feel like the whole world is against me. I feel like no one loves me and everyone hates me, and I want to eat worms. But you don't have to, because that's not true. That's just your brain. Your brain is throwing a hissy fit. You're sitting around in your stinky diaper and feeling bad about yourself, and you're having a little pity party, which is okay. Everyone has those. But make sure that you get up, wash off, read your list, and remind yourself. Thank your brain for letting you know that you're feeling lonely and dejected and rejected. And then look at your list of people who actually love you and really ponder that. And if you need to, reach out to them and ask for some company if you can. So 1, who loves you? 2, these next three actually involve middles. And I don't know about you, I hate middles. I can't stand middles. I love looking, let's say I'm going to remodel my living room. I love looking at like the before. Maybe I'm going to remodel this window stuff, window coverings and curtains and things like that. And I can't do it with my finger, because apparently I can't do it mirror wise. But let's say I'm going to remodel this. Maybe I don't like how it looks right now, and I look on Pinterest boards and I say, ooh, I want this new thing to look nice. And I can look at the current situation I have right now with the window and the curtains and the coverings and things like that. Window dressings, that's what they call them. I can look at that, and then I can look at the new version on Pinterest and be all excited. But there's the middle time between taking down the curtains, taking down the blinds, taking down the curtain rods, filling in the holes so you don't leave holes, waiting for them to dry, sanding them smooth, and if I'm going to paint or something, maybe I need to cover the windows and all that stuff, and I need to order the things that I want. And there's the middle time that really sucks. Okay, are you following me so far? Have you ever done any home improvements? Things like that, reconstruction. The middle stuff sucks. It's messy, it's ugly, and a lot of times, maybe 2/3 of the way into the project, we don't want to do it anymore. We're like, no, do I have to? And so middles really suck. So the 3 examples I have is pregnancy, okay? Let's say, as a mom, you had pregnancies, and let's say that I had some children from the pregnancies. That middle waiting part, the 9 months, for some of us it was fine, and for some of us it just wasn't. And toward the end of that pregnancy, you're just like, oh my gosh, are we done yet? Can I get this baby out? Am I done? Am I done now? Am I done now? That's a middle time. The pregnancy itself is a middle time. And and if it's your first one, you've heard there's going to be a lot of pain before you have this baby. And if you've had deliveries before, from past experience, there's going to be a lot of pain usually involved. by getting this child out. But after the child is out, and then you're in the recuperation phase, they say that that you forget your first pregnancy and your first delivery, and that way you can have more children. But the pregnancy is the middle time. There's pain involved in the childbirth. Even if it's a cesarean section, you have to heal from that. There's some pain involved in that. But you get through to the other side. And that's really where I'm going. I hope it goes the right way. Getting through to the other side. Getting through the middle to the other side. So there's pregnancy. There is, if you've ever gone to the circus before, or you've seen it on TV, you ever think of the trapeze artists? They trust that there's the one trapeze and they're swinging to the next trapeze. They trust that they can let go of this trapeze, go through the air without touching anything, and get to the other side, get to that next trapeze safely. So think about some things that you've had for middles. Think about the middle time that was so terrible, it sucked so bad, and you were like, are we done yet? Is it over yet? And think about, try to use some of these analogies about pregnancy, about home improvement, about trapezes maybe, about trusting that you're going to get healing through to the other side. Now, I can't say you're going to get reconciliation with the estranged child. I can't say that, but you'll get reconciliation with yourself. You'll get reconciliation with the family that you have currently in your home. You'll get reconciliation with the person that you used to be before you had your heart broken. So you're going through middles right now, right? Here you go. Towel on the head. It's a middle. I took a shower. I'm not prepped yet to get out of the house. I'm in the middle. But like I said, I wanted to tell you guys these things. They kind of popped into my head. Another thing is a monarch butterfly, or any butterfly. I'm a gardener, and I love wildlife as well. So I love the pollinators, and I love birds, which are pollinator. But I really, really love butterflies. And the monarch, as long as they have enough leaves to eat, and they have a safe, they will wander off to a safe structure to make their chrysalis. And they say that the monarch butterfly, or the monarch caterpillar, has all the parts of the butterfly in it. It's like pre-assembled, like an IKEA kit, inside the caterpillar. So when they go into the chrysalis, they just normally do this. They naturally do this. So they go into the chrysalis to reconfigure into the butterfly structure. And hopefully they found a safe enough place. So right now, you're in the middle. You're in a chrysalis right now. You have all the parts in you to heal. You have all the parts in you to set your heart free again and to heal the heart. You may have scars, but you have the parts in you right now to heal the heart. So with the monarch chrysalis, that's the middle for them. It's not the eating the leaves. That's not the middle. It's not being the caterpillar. It's not being the butterfly. The chrysalis itself is the middle for them. And hopefully they hung in a safe place. And here's the thing, that a lot of things like to eat them, like raccoons or possums or mice or rats, or there's a lot of things that want to eat a cocoon, a chrysalis, and they might not make it through all the way. Or there are things that tear at the chrysalis, and if the chrysalis is damaged, then maybe the liquid falls out. But they still go into that chrysalis or the cocoon to try to be that butterfly. Now, when they're coming out of the chrysalis, they don't rush it. They can't rush it. They have to wait for that certain timing until they turn fully black. Because the chrysalis for a monarch is green. And that's their caterpillar juice and flesh and stuff. When they start turning into a monarch butterfly, the chrysalis turns black, and that is the butterfly parts. That's the butterfly wings. The black of the wings is what makes the chrysalis dark. Some people say, oh, the chrysalis turns clear. That's not the case. The chrysalis was always clear, but what was inside changes colors. So once the chrysalis turns black, some people think, oh my gosh, it's dead. You are on a journey of healing, and you might feel like you just can't anymore. You feel dead inside, you feel like hopeless, or you feel whatever. And when people are raising butterflies, that same thing happens. They think the chrysalis is dead because it's black, and they're like, oh no, what did I do? I think I killed it. And hopefully what they'll do when they're raising monarchs is they'll ask other people who have done it before, and those people will reassure them, no, this is part of the process. This is part of the process. They're not dead. They're almost ready to come out. So, I mean, there's cliche sayings that, like, it's darkest before dawn and all that kind of stuff. If you are feeling so terrible and you want to get to the other side, hold on. You're in the middle and you're almost to the healing part. Hang in there. You're almost to the healing part. Don't try and force your way open. Don't try and worry your way out. Don't try and push it all down and stuff it inside. You're almost there. You're in the middle and you're healing. Trust the process. Trust the fact that you're going to get out and you're going to be a helpful butterfly. Now, when people are raising monarch butterflies, they also will see that once the chrysalis starts opening, the butterfly pushes and pushes and pushes and tries to get out. And it's really hard to watch that struggle. It's super hard, especially if you've never done it before. You're like, oh, this poor creature, they're never going to get out of there. How are they going to do it? No. We cannot help them because their struggle out of the chrysalis is part of what makes them really strong as a butterfly. So people who watch and watch and watch and watch and watch, and they see this butterfly struggling and, oh my gosh, I got to help it. When they help that butterfly get out, it actually weakens them. And then they can't fly. And then they're misshapen. And then they die. And that analogy is similar to when we are trying to force our children to heal. We see them struggle and struggle and struggle and struggle. It's their struggle. They have to do it. They have to do it. If you try to help them as an adult, a fully functioning adult, and they are struggling and you see it and your heart is moved, oh my gosh, my poor baby, and you try to go in there and help them, a lot of times you're going to do them more damage, okay? So think about it. Just think about it. Now, the fascinating thing with the butterflies, the monarch butterflies, is they make their way out of the cocoon, or out of the chrysalis, and then they look misshapen, and we're like, oh my gosh, after all this work, they finally get out of the chrysalis, and now they're all, like, they're shrunken up, their bellies are really large, and their wings are all shriveled, and they hang on the chrysalis, monarch butterflies, and they just twist back and forth, and then they rest. And they twist back and forth, and then they rest. This is not really a middle. It's kind of a middle toward the end of them being a butterfly fully, but it's still a middle. But it's the end of the middle. And what happens with them, and what can happen with us, is they shed a lot of excess fluids. They shed fluids, and their wings, they're shriveled right now, and their bellies are big, but as they go back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth, the wings will start to come downward. And this is you. You can heal. The wings come downward, and the belly starts shrinking. The fluids that were in the belly start going through the wings and into the wings until they're fully expanded. And this can take, it takes way longer than we hope it does, because we want to see it all. We want to see the whole process in action really fast. We have like no sense of waiting. We don't like to wait, and that's okay. But this can happen with you too. So maybe your heart is full, like the big belly of the monarch butterfly. Maybe it's swollen with pain, or it's swollen with all this stuff that you've read about and talked about and listened to, and all this healing stuff that's like in you, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get that way. I'm always going to stay shrunken. But that's not the case. That's not the case. You can get all the way through. Trust that process. Allow yourself Allow yourself to fill up with those healing thoughts and the healing work that we recommend and the healing actions that we recommend. Fill up those wings inside of you. Fill up the wings inside of you. And put that fluid from that swollen heart into the wings. And you're going to have to rest a lot. And you might just do a lot of twisting in the wind. You might do a lot of twisting in the wind. That's part of healing. That's okay. You're getting ready. You're shedding the excess liquid. You are drying off from the tears. You are ready. You are getting ready to fly again. You will fly again. It just takes some time, and you have to persevere through the middle. You don't want to get stuck in the middle. Who wants to be stuck with this? Who likes pain? I don't think anyone likes pain. So that's my thoughts for today. Those are my shower thoughts. So who loves you? Make a list of it and go over it again and again and again. 2, think about pregnancy. That's a middle. And there's pain at the end, but then there was a baby. 3, it's the trapeze. Letting go of your expectations and your wants and your desires. Letting go of your pain and grabbing on to healing. Grabbing on to what's coming next for you. Making a better life for yourself. Surrounded by people that you love and doing things you love. Letting go of your need for validation from people who don't want to validate you. And going toward people that do. Trusting that process. And then butterflies in their transformation. So there we go. There's my shower talk. I hope it helps somebody. If it only helps just one person, that's okay with me. And I guess I got to go get ready to get out of the house and do something with my hair and stuff. Get out of this middle and into another section. And if this, if you're struggling with like self-care, I don't want to say self-care. To me, sometimes self-care is like getting your nails done, go getting your hair cut. If you're dealing with like survival care, like washing, eating, sleeping, getting up and getting dressed, try that today. Just one thing out of those. If you, sometimes I don't want to go through the bother of washing my hair because it's really long now and it just is annoying. And so what I'll do is I'll just put all my hair on top of my head in a clip and I'll wash my body at least. Okay? If I can't even get the strength to wash just my body and not my hair, maybe I just do the private parts and brush my teeth, But whatever tiniest thing that you need to do today for self-survival, make sure that you do it. If you need to eat. Eat something. I don't care what it is. Just eat something that's going to sustain you. I'm not going to worry about bad and good foods. Don't do that. If you